it has broken up into individual items and its type is list. So when we are splitting a string, it is breaking up those individual items and putting them into a list object. So this becomes a list data type. Now, if it is a list data type, so I can iterate over this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm putting a container called PC production companies. I only am interested in the names of production companies. So I will say for J, in the range of length of item, correct?
Correct.
Item is a list.
Correct.
If, watch this carefully, what will we say? We are seeing that production company names are coming after name. It's a dictionary here. Inside name, key, production companies. And for one movie, there are multiple production companies. Notice this. This is one record. It has Ingenious Film Partners. It has 20th Century Fox. Then it will have Dune Entertainment. It also has Lightstorm Entertainment. You have multiple production companies associated with one movie. And they are all appearing after name. Name is the keyword. So I say if name in item J, correct?
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah.
No.
Append. Yes. Append.
What will I append?
Item.
Value.
Yes.
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 But not just the next value. If I append the next value against this, I will get only Ingenious. Let's at least append two values. So I'll get Ingenious Film. I'll get 20th Century. Right? I'll get Lightstorm Entertainment. Sorry, J plus 1 and J plus 2. The next two. Correct? You understanding this logic of why am I using J plus 1 and J plus 2?
Yeah.
The next two. So they are getting appended to PC. So this is for record I in production companies. So now what do I want to do? Movies 1. Production. Sorry. I want to replace the ith value with PC, right?
Yes.
I don't want this whole long record. I only want the names of production companies. Okay. If this is the case, okay, fine. Let me not do this. Before I modify this, let me print and see whether we are getting the right one. Yeah. So we are getting the records like this. So now I will do for the whole data. So you see the value of print statements. If I was making an error and I was directly modifying movies 1, then I would have had to go back and create movies 1 record all over again. Okay. So if that is the case, let's check then movies 1 production companies. This is better, right? Against each film, you can see a list of who were the production companies. Clear so far?
So what was the error earlier? Why was it?
There was no error. The record was like this.
Okay.
So out of you have ID number, you have name, right? We were only interested in the names of production companies. So out of this whole string, we have now created Or now we have created what? We have created a list object which contains the names of multiple production companies associated with a movie. Like this.
Okay.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
Or you don't?
Yes. Understood.
Yeah, I understand.
Now
Yes.
there are too many columns here to deal with. Let us filter it down to the columns which we are interested in. So I will say we want budget, we want revenue, we want genres, and let's say production companies. Okay. Zone of interest. So I want to show that we are subsetting here. So I want to show these columns. Okay, and one more thing, and we want movie title. So we want these columns where what was the condition? Where budget and revenue are greater than 100 million USD. Okay, so let's call them hits. Okay, so hits which had a budget and a revenue greater than $100 million. Okay, so fine, let us subset movies one by these columns: budget, revenue, genres, then original title, name of the movie, and production companies. Correct? So we are performing two operations here. What is the first and what is the second operation? Please tell me. It's in the title, but please explain it to me. What are we trying to do here? What is end? We created a variable end. What is end? It is subsetting those records where our conditions are met, where budget and revenue is greater than $100 million. So I want those records where my budget and revenue were greater than $100 million, but I want the data frame to be subsetted to only these columns. Now clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So hits 100 genres. Let's see what were the genres which created these hits. So these are the main genres, but there are a lot of records here. So tell me what else should we do? And think of what else you may want to do. So now we have a list of movies which did over 100 million in revenue, and they had a budget of corresponding budget of 100 million as well. Right? So let's call these big movies. Now you want to know, if these are all blockbusters, assuming, don't you want to know that, which genre did how much of business, or how many of these hit movies belong to which genre?
Yeah.
Keep coming up with ideas as to what you want to do with it, with this data. So the problem definition is entirely in our hands. So let us filter how many movies within hits 100 belong to let's say 3 important genres. So let's call it animation, comedy, and sorry, what is this? And we are seeing action. So let's say action. So let's see how many of movies belong to this. So once again, for I in range, now how will we check this?
If anim is
Yes,
in hits 100,
yeah. Then which column?
column
Genre.
Right? And within genres, a
draw.
specific record.
I lock I, yes.
Yes. Then what should I do?
Append. We need to append it to animation.
What should I append? I?
I.
No. You want to append the value.
Okay. Then genres, yes.
So similarly, if comedy, sorry. Okay. And likewise for action. Okay. Now we'll say print number of animation blockbusters. What should this be? Length of animation? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
This backslash is to go to the next line. And I will give you guys the reference to this data on Kaggle. There are many such data if you want to practice. Okay, let's see. What is invalid? Animation.append. Okay, what is the mistake?
colon, yeah, colon is there, okay.
Action dot append again. Why am I getting a dot here? So action seems to be ruling. Okay. If action is ruling, okay. we
Which
will
the
find-
highest grosser action movie?
Sorry?
Which is the highest grosser action movie? Can we take that out?
Highest grosser action movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's first, take one more function. There's something called group by. I want you guys to know this. So what this is going to do is something interesting. It's going to let us group them by genres, and we can say find average budget and revenue. So it's very simple. What we are trying to do here is we are taking all the movies in Hits 100. I'm going to group them by genres within square bracket column, and I want to find mean. So it will give me by genre what is the average budget. Okay, what is the mistake now? I've made okay. So what is it telling me? By genres, what was the average budget and what was the average revenue? But it's very difficult to read. Can you tell what is the revenue or even the budget? So let's modify this. Okay, is somebody going to tell me how we can modify this? I just want to convert the budget and revenue into, let's say, million values. Or we can say billion, whatever, million. So I will select those columns. We remember the apply and map functions. So I want to apply a function here which will convert these values to millions in one single line of code. Lambda, what should it be?
X oblique, yes.
Okay. Now it's more readable. So now let's look at those. Group by again. So column name, I need to put it in square brackets. Okay, so what does it tell us? If you're a producer, what does it tell you?
That action movies generate the
Yes, yes,
revenue.
put your money in action. So how many movies were there? We know the shape of an umpire array. Pretty much the same. So this tells you that there are 264 movies in our record. And the size will tell you the total number of elements. And this is intuitive, right? The total number of elements is going to be the total records into columns, the rows into columns. Okay. This is again something very neat. Aggregate. Gives you a nice summary. So again, let's take from budget, revenue. We need one more square bracket. Okay. And I want to aggregate and find mean, minimum, let's say the maximum, for budget and revenue. For these two columns, I want to find what is the mean value, what is the maximum across the entire column. Okay. Okay, let us do aggregation individually. Using, so these are all functions, right? Mean, minimum, max. Here we've used a common function for both the columns. Now let's try different functions for different columns. So what I'm really interested in finding is that what was the total money which was put in by these hit movies? What is the total budget which went in, and what is the total revenue produced? So at a summary level, I can see the minimum on an average that in this 100 million blockbusters, the average budget was 155 million and it gave more than 3 times the return, 508. But I want to know at a consolidated level. So let's aggregate this. So I will say movies one. First, the value will be, because we're taking a consolidated, the values can be very, very large. So let's convert this time into billions. Okay. do apply first.
Lambda.
That's converted into billions. And this time we are not just limiting ourselves to hits, right? We are looking at the whole database. That's why we're taking movies one. So convert budget and revenue into billions. All right. So I will run this. Now let us aggregate. Movies one. Okay, movies one. Let's just go to aggregate. Or I will. So I will say, let's say budget. Value. And I will say function will be sum. Okay, next I will take my revenue. So the industry put in our records, the filtered record, the industry put in $139 billion and they got $395 billion in return revenue. Over what period of time, we do not know. But now you know that movies is a good business, right? And if you did not know pandas, you wouldn't have known this, right? You agree?
Yeah.
So what's
Yes.
better? Python is better or movies?
Movies with Python.
Yes. So you should know data science. Data science will help you discover where is the pot of gold. So on that note, we will end and we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Was it good today?
Yes.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.